So I had to do some disk testing, and just happened to be my old pair of Iron Wolf Pro 10 terabyte Seagate hard drives that I had in my Linux server, Fenrir. I don't know why I chose that name, but I needed to choose a name. I've been reliable, so it's lived up to that. But the discs, one of these has 47,000 hours on it, over 5 years of runtime, and it started throwing a little bit of a fit. ZFS was detecting that it was returning invalid data. So I ordered a spare. One of these was retired as a spare and replaced with a new one a year ago. So both of these got new Seagate Exos X14 and X18 series 14 terabyte drives in the main server. So I'm going to phase out the 10s and go to 14s as best as I'm able to, if that ever does happen again. But yeah, only 3 drives out of the first 8 were replaced, and one was a warranty replacement. And then the warranty replacement failed. So yeah, they sent a 12 terabyte, so I had a 12 for a while in the main server. But yeah, I tried doing C tools like any other, normal computer do-it-yourselfer would running Windows. And, wouldn't you believe that it wouldn't work? And Gentoo come to the rescue again. So I saw that there was C tools available for Linux. Well, that's pretty cool. I should be able to set that up, or at least just try and test run it, and maybe I'll see what libraries it needs, because you can do that. Like you can do LDD, path to binary. See, and it shows you, libtinflow. Bash shell relies on a library named libtinflow, libc, and there's some links to files too. Some of them are symlinks as well. I don't know. So it's pretty cool. It's a modular sort of design. Look at that. libreadline. What's interesting about Linux is you can configure those to be available for a program. So I had to set up and install script that this system uses. Oh, sweet, man. There you go. Yeah, so just, on your MISC, I had to add these 4 packages, because CTools, if you read the .ebuild script file, it mentions that these packages are needed. And, okay, I'll assume that they are, because the guy's got a published overlay, whatever. It's working. It's actually like counting down, doing a fix all along with CTools. But when I tried to run this application and its older version on Windows 11, it didn't show any drive information. I don't know why that is, but that happened. That's the thing. And I tried doing this instead, and I basically set up local package installers definitions for these 4 packages, so that I could use this CTools program on this Linux installation that I built. I built all of this from Gentoo Linux. So we have this program running in this shell, and then on my left side monitor I'm also running OBS. It's pretty cool, but we can see this thing's got 2 NVMEs, a pair of small size SATAs, and a pair of 10 terabytes now. And these are the ones that I'm trying to scan and test. So both of these are running bad blocks check tests right now for this fix all along bad block scan, running it with Seagate's own utility. So it'll mark the bad sectors and add them to a map to not use. The drive is communicating, getting like status back from it and stuff, and it passed a couple short tests. Both of them did. I tried doing an extended test, but that kind of didn't succeed. It's like it was generating errors, detected it, and stopped it. So didn't say it failed, you know, I failed, oh no, red lights, nothing like that. It just stopped. And the record of it, see, this one's got 45,000 power on hours. Basically, the smart status on them is good, kind of. Like threshold, read error rate, you know. So this is what you get if you run drives like this and you rely on them. Don't rely on them providing accurate information, but the ones that don't will be significantly fewer than the ones that do. So 148 start-stop count. So already 256 retired sectors. Seek error rate, a lot. That's ZFS. It's querying the drive. It doesn't rely on everything the drive has to say though. Whole crap load of command timeouts. So definitely warm. Yeah. ECC memory check count. 1 CRC error. This is kind of what I was getting with CRC errors when it was in the main server running an OpenZFS pool. Doesn't really tell you what the temperature is at the moment, but if I wanted to look on the server, it would. And this guy here, I don't know, power, 48,000 hours on this one. So that's like 5.2 years. to get this program working. Seems to be working. Doing the drive scans. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Like, you know, when you have to get something working, and you have a very malleable tool, or a tool that makes, you know, what you need to do malleable. For me, that's Gentoo Linux. I just basically set up all of these packages. AppArch, Injector, you know, net P2P. I had a little Qubit torrent build update series running locally here. The C tools. Dude. Both 25. So doing its thing. But yeah, these two 860s are the boot disks for this install, and it's configured into a mirror that combined is 500 gigabytes. Right? Haha. And I have a 2 terabyte mirrored storage pool. Got a few projects on the go, so use these, you know, workspaces, data sets. I've got one for virtual machines, experimenting with word lists and network penetration testing and security. I was running Hashcat distribution. Tried experimenting with that once, and I don't know, it's very tedious to monitor. I really want to use that. Or have a good team with those tools set up already, I guess. But yeah, this Deadpool. I'm using 1.3 terabytes out of this. top level directory too, right? Yeah, you can. Yeah, perhaps you could. I don't know. Master picks. Yeah, some of these I have unmounted as well, like master picks. That might have been just a temporary copy of the data set of that's on the main server. When you have one of these and another one, and you can take in 40 terabytes of data as an incremental mirror, and then place that system somewhere else. You have these structures the same on both systems, right? These I created, but these are just unique to this server or my desktop PC. That's the Ryzen 9. Running ZFS, 64 gigs of memory, 1070. Yeah, I didn't have stable RAM that I inherited into this thing from my my Intel PC that I upgraded for the quad core, my old spare. It's never getting an upgrade, much as that might. That would just be a total waste of memory, or total waste of money too, to upgrade that thing. Yep. Well, I think once these drives are scanned, they're 25% in, and they've been going for 2 hours. So 2, 4, 6. Well, it'll be an 8 to 10 hour job. Should be done sometime early tomorrow morning. But yeah, sometimes you got to be able to, just install what you need. Seconds to detect 2,083 packages, and all of them as reinstalls, and then show the results. Now there's 2 conflicts, and those could maybe be resolved. We just have to look at the configuration for them. But like Blender's installed on this, virtual machine server, full KDE desktop, and this is all stuff that I just added. I started with the ability to log in and use Bash shell. Installed these sets of packages like Plasma Meta Network, KDE Core, KDE Utils. All of these highlighted green ones are things that I added. The SDK, that's probably like overkill. I didn't need to install that, but I did, because I could do that with a faster machine and start making builds. So I make builds that provide or retain the ability to change their configuration using all of these configuration flags and profiles that configure those and so on. I provide them as downloads as a hobby. But you know, like these are out of my local overlay. These are packages that I added installers for to this machine specifically that I may not have yet published. And I should do that someday. I have published stuff like that in the past. But I don't know, like matplotlib. This thing does things that I couldn't do. Matplotting. Media info. You know, I installed 7-zip support. Just using pre-built newest version of Firefox. OBS Studio. I've got Mumble installed. And yeah, you just, you know, if you want Mumble, you want like MPV is a media player, works really good. This thing also installs wire plumber and pipe wire support, but I don't use it. I try to QT multimedia with Pulse Audio. Works really good, like very reliable, not yeah, like this Pulse Audio daemon package is a rollback change that I made to still use Pulse Audio as the sound system for Gen 2 or my Gen 2 configuration. Got some nice, you know, themes. I needed that for something. GTK Engines was complaining that it needed Marine. It was short on Marines, so I installed the Marine. But Pigeon, HexChat, this is hilarious. This is like console RGB on LSD. LOL Cat. Prism Launcher for you playing Minecraft. Different OpenGDK versions, Gen 2 tools. You know, here's G Smart Control. I didn't check on that yet, but I wanted to run the C tools first. Good old SmartMon tools, always reliable. Dev, need Git. Can't install custom packages without Git on this operating system. RTKit, unless you do a lot of like, you know, solo scripting. I don't do a lot of solo scripting. Flame Shot, very useful. Speaking of, dude, pictures. No, I don't want to stop recording. But there, got rid of that stupid box. I didn't even see that. But yeah, the on the recording, I had HTOP running in here for an older test. I was playing video games. recording some stuff. I don't know, I got Ansible on here. I don't have a reason to use it. Sanoid's been really useful. Of course, I could have a more they were buying for their internet services from a reseller that was reselling TELUS. Well, hey, buddy, we need a new thing. Nobody knows what this thing is. It's a fossil. It's been furniture. That belongs to Dave, and nobody knows who Dave is, right? You just call Dave when that piece of equipment decides it doesn't work anymore. But nobody ever calls Dave. By a miracle, the piece of equipment that nobody knows exists is the one that's still working, but it got heat soaked. Somebody didn't service their air conditioners. The mail server for it didn't exist. It was configured to use some Linux machine that had been deleted because it had been infected with malware, ransomware, somethingware. Yeah, they got infected through that mail server. Not quite. Anyways, yeah, there's one of my custom packages that I had to build or add the configuration for. So this is a list of all of the packages that are installed on this operating system. And a lot of this, I've configured all of this to be configured a certain way to use certain software compilers when it's advantageous and compatible to, but not to force everything to yet. It's a very very forgiving and potent combination, right? We've got of course, full ZFS support, firewalling, device management, looking at open files and process information and things like that. Utilities are all installed. Remote access support, not only VNC but by running a full virtual machine and accessing that remotely. This is very very powerful when you can just add what you need. The guys that configure this, they know what they're doing. It's a pretty good bunch. I never was somebody that found doing a lot of script writing for these a very there's a lot of work there, man. Hey. No, I just touch that one up every so often. Maybe do a couple e-builds every other couple months. SVT. So like AV1 codec support. Nice to be able to add little touches like that. I actually run like an rsync server on my other main server, and yeah, this is like 2,000 packages, to configure, or a lot of them are configured depending what you want to install. All the highlighted stuff is stuff that I know that I wanted to install. All starting with, yeah, GNU. Are you GNU? I haven't set this up to use like TPM security yet. I don't use data encryption either, really, but or I use Apache web server. That's just what I learned to use, and it's always going to be something that's a staple program that's so widely used it will just be usable. There's no chance of it vanishing. If that ever happened, I would be just devastated and immensely surprised. But if Apache web server ever decided, oh, we're hanging up our code hangers, and we're going to stop developing this, I didn't want to try and learn NGIX with Apache just to maintain already. So, but yeah, Apache's pretty cool. You can do like virtual machine, or not virtual machine, but virtual domain hosting. So domain request, web server responses, and that's what I run for my photo album. See, this is my photo album. That's all run on the main server, and it's running PHP 8.1 with Apache virtual domain hosting. There you go. Enjoying being warm. No. Oh, it's not. It was not warm. Anyways, I'm daydreaming here about being in Gibraltar after looking at my photo album. Yeah, Apache. That's where it is. But man, been 30 minutes. This is going to be scanning for a very long time. But this is pretty cool. I'm pretty satisfied that I got this working on my Linux installation today. And my main server is done resilvering the array. And it's doing a scrub, so data validation. And that'll be done in 7 hours. So these will both be done right around the same time in the morning. In probably by 8 o'clock. Yeah. 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And then I'll find out if these two things need to run a repair scan, the 210s on the local machine here, or if it's just going to say, oh, it fixed something. Might just fix it. Hope it just fixes anything it finds. 28% though. So, that's good. This is why I run reliable software RAID data storage. Because all of this, like checksumming, the drive that I replaced, it's one of these ones I pulled out of here and replaced it with 14 terabyte. Where are you? either the J or the G. Maybe J is the X18 one that I just put in. It replaced one of these. But yeah, it finished replacing the disk with the one that was provided. I had this, one of these other ones was in here for a spare as well, so if this ends up fixing something, I'll continue doing a little more testing on it and see if it generates any errors. And if it does, run a bat block scan with Linux. Just yeah. Well, anyways, I'm gonna go pour myself another drink, and I don't know, maybe watch some TV. Let these things scan. So, cheers.